Hello there and a warm welcome to Super Eye, a program that beams a searchlight on the ills of the society. Of course, as usual, I'm Adenike Owoye Ajiboye, your host. I'm sure you're wondering what today's topic will be. It is something everybody is talking about, and it is something that a whole lot of Lagos residents are still finding it difficult to come in terms with reality. It is the visit of the first citizen of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari was on a two-day visit to Lagos State. And guess what? There was a public holiday declared by the Lagos State government under the leadership of Governor Akinwumi Ambode. And it brought a whole lot of heckling task for Lagos residents in terms of traffic vehicular movement and many more. So today, we want to look at the president's visit to commission a bus terminal or a taxi park, whatever you want to call it, and the fact that he has also come to honor the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the fact that a public holiday was declared because the #1 citizen of this country is coming to visit Lagos State. What do you think? How right is this a very decision of the Lagos State government? Should it be that every time that the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will be visiting, so it means that we have to declare a public holiday? Are we considering the economic value? I mean, the things that the Lagos State government, the money that the Lagos State government will lose in terms of commerce, a whole day, considering the fact also that there is already a 2 days holiday declared by the federal government, and in addition to the one declared by the Lagos State government. So I am going to open the phone lines immediately today because I want to hear from Lagos residents. How right is it for us to declare a public holiday because the president is coming to visit? And we all know the traffic jam that this also causes. Roads were blocked. Roads were blocked and it wasn't easy for us. Practically everybody in Lagos that is working. The fact that it was a public holiday, we're not even feeling it that there is a public holiday because most roads were blocked. Why should this be? If the president is coming, a whole lot of people are wondering, and the question people are asking is, what economic value is the president's visit to Lagos State? He has come to commission a bus terminal and some other roads. But a whole lot of people also saying that we should not be deceived because basically while the president is in Lagos is to honor the All Progressives Congress national leader Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So call me and let us hear your views. We want to feel your pulse because we have just one country, Nigeria, my country, your country. Is this the country of our dreams? If we want the Nigeria of our dreams, it is high time that we have to always open our mouth and speak because we can't just keep our fingers crossed and fold our arms and act as if who cares, let them continue to do what they want to do. No, politicians are there, public official orders are there for the benefit of citizens, and so we must demand that which is right from there. For God's sake, our business mogul's daughter had a wedding 2 weeks ago, or was it? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, and there were presidents from other nations in this country, former presidents, and I tell you what, at the airport it was a queue. There was a queue on air jets, private jets there. If you get there, you would think that it is your bus stop. It was as if buses were parking, but guess what? It was private jets all coming to Nigeria for a business mogul's daughter's wedding. And guess what? Roads were not blocked. A public holiday was not declared. And do you know these people who came in were also bringing economic value to our nation, Nigeria. On the president's visit, I can imagine what the Lagos State government will lose for that Thursday that was declared as a public holiday. And for residents also, they also felt it. The traffic was killing. On Wednesday, I'm sure many Lagos residents that are out will get home like say 12, 1, because I myself go home at after 1. It was a standstill traffic on Wednesday, and Thursday was not different. The story is just the same. So on the program today, we'll bring to you some of the speeches made by the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Vice President, and the celebrant himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and a whole lot of promises that they have made. It is now 3 years that the All Progressive Congress, APC, have held on to power, and still some people are saying there is nothing to really show for it. Though at the program we saw some people were interviewed, some Nigerians who say that they have benefited from this government, that government has supported them, that the federal government have supported them one way or the other in their businesses. But for me, I am yet to get anything. I don't know about you, if you have gained anything from this government in terms of money and all of that. Please call me and let us know, because right now there are new promises from the APC leaders as to how they will eradicate poverty from Nigeria, and we wonder that this is the first time in history that Lagos State and the federal government will be coming from the same party. And 3 years down the lane, ladies and gentlemen, I am yet to feel the impact in Lagos State. What is the federal government doing for Lagos State as a city, as a state, for us to even declare a public holiday for his visit? Yes, we're interested in seeing Mr. President, but is it enough to declare a public holiday? And with this public holiday, does this show seriousness on the part of our government, the Lagos State government, basically? So I will be waiting for you to call and make your contributions to this. We'll first take the president's speech at the 10th Tinubu colloquium. Let's hear what the president said and the new promises, because he has said that he will invest in human capital, just like Bill Gates came to this country for the business mogul's daughter's wedding. And he also challenged the federal government on having to invest in human capital. So hear what the president has to say.
We must invest in people. Here, I can say that the expenditures made by this government constitute investment in and for the people. We depend on the people to govern. This government recognizes this. Hence our investment in critical areas that touch the lives of people directly. Social investments program, the school feeding program, massive investment in agriculture, a sector that employs over 65% of our people. We strive to set Nigeria on an irreversible path of growth and development. This is the objective that guides our investment and expenditures as a government. We join hands to build a better country. We are resolute in our commitment to uplift our people and to make Nigeria a better place.
Well, you can hear the president speaking there. President Muhammadu Buhari is saying they are resolute in contributing and helping the nation move from the state it is. And the question arises, 3 years down the lane as the president of this great nation, Nigerians are still begging to see the impact that this government has created. The corruption war, they said they are fighting. Corruption war every day, and the blame is on the last administration and what they have done, how they have looted money and all of that. Of course, recently again, just today, the federal government said they will release, or they have already released, the number of leaders of the past administration, the People's Democratic Party, who looted Nigeria's fund. Okay, the vice president also made a speech there, and what he was saying is that they are also resolute in ensuring that they nip the corruption act in the bud. I think I have a caller now. Hello. Hello. Okay, I don't seem to get that. I think I lost the call. So as I was saying, the vice president also made a speech saying that they are poised in ensuring that corruption is brought to its knees, and also saying that when you fight corruption, corruption will also fight back. So I want you to have a feel of some of the speech, hear from our leaders what they are saying. So let's hear from the vice president, Professor Yemi Oshibajo.
The theme of this year's colloquium is investing in people. Whether it is called human capital development or people-centric investment, the meaning is clear enough, and its importance is undeniable. For us on the political landscape, it may well be the greatest governance challenge. Creating highly impactful programs and policies for our people is my simple understanding of good governance. At the end of the day, the level of investment on our people will determine our future sustenance as a nation always.
All right, that is Governor Akinwumi Ambode. Well, he is the host for the very 10th Bola Ahmed Tinubu's colloquium. And what he is saying there, I love what the governor of Lagos State is saying there. He's talking about the importance of investing in people. And he also said that that is their mission, basically. But what we are also having in Lagos State, we are all aware of the Lagos Land Use Charge, where a lot of residents have advocated that it should be returned back to what it used to be. But the Lagos State government, rather than reverse it, has just reduced it. And also, during the week, the NBA also staged a protest to also register their displeasure, because there was a public hearing that was organized by lawmakers, and some activists there actually staged a walkout, including the Nigeria Bar Association Ikeja branch, because they are also at the forefront of this very struggle. So we also bring that to you on the program. I'll be talking to the chairman NBA Ikeja branch, Additional Ogunlano, for you to hear from him what they went through. And so, still talking about the president's visit, I'm expecting your calls. The number to call will be scrolled on the screen now for you to make your contribution. Of what economic value is the visit of President Muhammadu Buhari as a state? Lagos, you know the population in Lagos State and how we voted for the president, and in the history of Nigeria, for the first time, the president and the federal government and the Lagos State government from the same party, the All Progressives Congress APC. How much impact has Lagos State felt by coming from the same party? We need to talk about this. To now say that a public holiday was declared, is the Lagos State government also considering the amount of money they will lose, or they have lost rather, in addition to the 2 days holiday declared for Easter? So some of us feel that it wasn't appropriate. But if you feel it's appropriate or inappropriate, call me and let me have your contribution. Also, the celebrant himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, also made a speech. And from his speech, he also made reference to the fact that there are challenges, and they are aware of the challenges in Nigeria, and that he will prepare a paper to also move Nigeria out of its poverty state. And we're wondering, 3 years now, Nigerians, many are still living in abject poverty. And now, election is around the corner, 2019. So is this a colloquium, an avenue to campaign for another 4 years as the president who will steer the ship of this country? So let's hear from Bola Ahmed Tinubu what he said at the 10th colloquium.
We know that there are challenges, but what are we doing about it? And we must articulate those programs, make a promise to Nigerians once again that hope is back. We have the audacity of it. We will bring Nigeria on the right path of prosperity and banish poverty forever. Mr. President, jointly with you, we are going to work on strengthening the pension plan to stimulate growth and this economy. I promise you a paper I will come up with. I work harder quickly because you spend your time here. Okay.
Quite interesting. Talk, they say, is cheap. It is not enough to talk, and eventually there is nothing to show for it, because what we hear on the street, because as a member of the fourth estate of the realm, it is our duty to bring to you what residents or citizens of this great country are saying, because it is not everybody who has the ability or the courage to actually look in the eye of our leaders and challenge them. And I think that is why members of the fourth estate of the realm are there. We are a watchdog on government, on public officials, for them to do what is right. And that is the essence of this program, Super I. You've heard that is the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he has said that they are going to bring Nigeria hope, and they will bring the country out of poverty and also stimulate growth in national economy. So these same promises were made in 2015 before they came to power. And 3 years down the lane, like I said earlier, many Nigerians are yet to feel the impact. So we know what the bag of rice was what the bag of rice sold for then, and we can say what it sells for now. And like that, the prices of foodstuff and what have you have skyrocketed, and we're wondering. Indeed, we have a government, and they've been working all this while, and still 2019 is here, and they're still promising. Promises. They are going to bring Nigeria out of poverty. When will that be? When will that be? In 2019, 2021? Nigerians, you have to speak. We have to speak because we have to make Nigeria what we want Nigeria to be. We have the power. You have your power because you are the one who go out there in the rain or the sun to vote for these leaders. And it will only be natural that you get the dividends of democracy. And we're still looking, where are the federal government's projects in Lagos State? The federal government came to Lagos himself, President Muhammadu Buhari, with respect, but to commission a bus terminal being made by the Lagos State government. Of course, this are taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money, my money, your money. And at the end of the day, because the president is coming, we were subjected to stay at home. We were subjected to terrible traffic that has led to some people being on the sick bed now. And I know what I am talking about. So where are the federal government's projects in Lagos State? For the first time in the history of Nigeria, Lagos and the federal government are from the same party, and they are working together. But yet, we haven't seen the project. So people, call me now and let us feel your pulse and see what you have to say. Also, another promise of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in 2015 was that they will fight corruption. At the 10th colloquium also, Vice President was emphatic about fighting corruption to a standstill. And I just want you to also have a feel of what the Vice President said there. I don't know if that's ready. Okay, the number to call now are on the screen. So call and let me hear your views as regards the President's visit to Lagos. How right to declare a public holiday, considering the fact that 2 days of holiday have been declared, plus the weekends for Easter celebration. So call me now and let us talk. I will take. Okay. I don't know. I think there's a difficulty in having to play the Vice President's speech, but with time, I will be able to bring you that. The numbers are all on the screen for you to call. Let us feel your pulse. That is why we are here. Don't forget that Super I is here to correct the ills of our society. So right about this time, I will take a short break, and when I return, Super I continues. is Oshodi, one of the areas in Lagos State.
And it's good.
But what are the consequences of this? Well, many thanks for staying with us. We're so glad to have you back. It is Super Eye and Super Screen, UHF 45. I was telling you earlier that I will be bringing the speech of Vice President for you to see how committed they are in fighting corruption. So let's hear the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, now.
On one of our campaign trips in Zamfara State, Mr. President said, look at the eyes of these people. And of course, we saw the poverty and desperation in their eyes. Then he said, they expect us to fix the problem of their poverty as soon as we get into office. So the president on the campaign trail emphasized three things: security, the economy, and by the economy here, in particular the welfare of the people, and corruption. To address the question of the welfare of the people, we realized that if we waited for the economy to pick up and then provide jobs for the people, especially young people, many would have given up hope and many would have ended up in all manner of illegal activities. So we decided on two things. One, to invest heavily in agriculture, to create jobs in the hinterland, provide enough food locally and for all of the urban areas. And in our agriculture program, I'm sure that many would already agree that this has been a tremendous success. Several millions of Nigerians have been employed in agriculture. We also decided to put in place an audacious social investment program to the tune of 500 billion naira, the largest pro-poor program in our nation's history, and the largest social safety net, at least in sub-Saharan Africa. That from all I have seen in government in the past 3 years, the corruption of the previous 5 years is what destroyed the Nigerian economy. Well, every time we talk about this, every time we talk about corruption, our opponents say, don't talk about it, just do your own, don't talk about it. The Yorubas have an adage. They say, talk about the Oroiru. And I'll translate that. When the conversation comes to the matter of tails, the frog will say, let us skip that. Don't talk about it. We will talk about it.
All right, that is Vice President Yemi Osinbajo talking about what they've been doing about corruption and the cause of why Nigeria's economy has been like this. They have continued to put the blame on the former administration of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, which is the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Well, I'm not here to speak for any party, PDP, APC, but the question is, if you are in government, you are there to find solutions to problems. And if after 3 years you are still, clamoring or continue to speak about what has happened in the past, for me, it's as if something is wrong somewhere. We need to get our act right and know where we are going. You are moving into the future and you should have a plan. When you were trying to come to government, were you not aware that there have been corruption? If you were not aware, you wouldn't have campaigned on those bases. You campaigned based on that. You want to fight corruption, and what of you? And if you're fighting corruption, you say corruption is fighting back. We, the ordinary Nigerians, the masses, are supposed to feel the impact. So a whole lot of money, have been seized from public officials from the past administration. And the question I'm asking is, all of this money that we hear about, where are they being kept? Are they kept ahead of the election 2019 or what? I'm just thinking aloud, and I want Nigerians to also speak. Why is it that all of these billions, millions are being seized from left and right, and still a bag of rice still sells as high as it is being sold now? And also palm oil. I mean, it's just from one good to the other, it has not been the same stories. All of this money that this administration has been seizing, where are they being kept? Why has the economy continued or has remained the same? So you had Vice President there. Okay, I also told you that during the week, the Lagos State government also had a public hearing, and the public hearing, some people walked out, and some people also participated. And I spoke with one of the participants, the former NBA chairman in Lagos State, Barrister Monday Ubani, and I just asked him what he feels should be the solution to this increased land use charge. And this is what he has to say. So let's take a listen to Barrister Ubani. You're still watching Super Eye on Super.
Lagos State is a special state for recanting and listening to the voice of the people. To me, that again shows quality leadership. So what they need to do now is to take all the inputs, especially from that of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors or valuers. There's something they say that is very key. You don't charge based on the value of the property you assign to it. You base upon what the property will generate to me in a particular year. If my property is worth 100 million, you don't ask me to pay tax on 100 million. Rather, you now take a figure of what the property will generate for me within a specified year and tax on it. That's the way it's been done abroad, and not the way they wanted to do it. You know, 100 million, you tax me on 100 million. No, tax me on what the property will generate to me within a year, or what the value is worth within a year. That's the way it's going to. So I am sure that when they come up with the amendment, it's going to take all into consideration all the input of the stakeholders who made meaningful contribution at the floor of the House during the amendment process.
Well, Barrister Monday Ubani speaking there on what he feels should be the way out of these land use charge increment. And so I will take a short break now, and when I return, I will be talking to those at the forefront of this struggle to stay. This is Oshodi, one of the areas in Lagos State. You're still watching Super Eye on Super Screen, UHF 45. And of course, the visit of the president to Lagos State now brings me to the threats issued to the Nigerian Bar Association, Ikeja branch, and all other comrades who actually also said they will protest against the Lagos land use charge. Of course, you also recall that there was a public hearing on Wednesday where some of the activists in the Nigerian Bar Association Ikeja branch actually staged a walkout, just to show their displeasure about this very law, because rather than for the Lagos State government to reverse the land use charge, they have just reduced it. And the NBA members, the Ikeja branch, and other activists in Lagos State are saying, hey, Governor Akinwumi Ambode, this is not what we're advocating. What we're advocating is a reversal. So a threat was issued by the Lagos State Police Command to some of these activists and the NBA branch Ikeja members. And rather than they recall into their shell and not protest, the NBA Ikeja branch went ahead, summoned the courage, and still staged a protest on Thursday, not minding whose horse is God. And this is what brings the NBA chairman to the studio. Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Many thanks for obliging us through this particular interview.
Thank you so much.
All right. Are we concerned the presidential visit to Lagos State, 2 days presidential visit, the Lagos State Police Command issued you an arrest, a threat, saying if you go ahead and protest, that you will be arrested. Can you share what happened to us?
Thank you so much. What happened was that a week ago, about 9 days ago now, on 21st of March, at a press conference, made some demands on government of Lagos State that if should they fail, we shall go on another round of protests on the 29th March, being a Thursday. We give them about 8 days grace to respond, and our demands were that they should publish electronically and in the print media draft copies of the proposed amendment, the legislation, because we know that when you say public hearing, it's not a workshop. You will have and you must have a working paper, and that is the copy of the legislative proposal. And they only comply with that on Sunday, and the hearing will be on a Tuesday. My office was served with that amendment hard copy on a Monday, and immediately we wrote a letter to them that you have to shift this public hearing. If you want any meaningful contribution, an adequate response from any serious stakeholder who put in a comprehensive response to what you have given us, then you have to shift it at least by 2 weeks. We did better than that. We went to the government press to even ask for the principal legislation. That is the land use charge. That land use charge itself, the law. Can you believe it? They don't have it.
So was that why?
So when we went to the parliament on the last week, this week Wednesday or something, we were there at the parliament. Before it commenced, we made inquiries from their section, administrative section. We need a copy of the law. They don't have it too. So when we were there, and at a point in the program, before people began to submit memoranda and all that, I rose up and with the permission of the speaker, addressed them on the salient issues that I've raised just now, only for the chairman of that committee, I think it's called Oshino or somebody.
Oshino, yeah.
By Oshino, I guess.
Exactly.
Mr. Oshino. And then the speaker, both of them just treated our observation with levity, maybe to the best of their knowledge. They said that it's no big deal about that, and that everybody knows about the issues surrounding land use charge. That it's not a matter that we could not get the principal legislation. I would say we are lawyers, we can't do that, so we left. So, as far as we are concerned, they've not met our demands, and our protest will go on. So Wednesday, the following day, we announced to the whole world that we are going to do our protest on Thursday. That same day, news came out that the president was coming to Lagos, and we announced at our press briefing that in difference to that, we are going to do 2 things. We are not going to shift the date of our protest, but we are going to shift the locale, and we are going to shift the time. We are not going to protest in the afternoon, in the morning. Our protest will start from 2, and we are not going to do it in Ikeja, because we know that the gentleman President Buhari was coming down to, is it launch or commission a motor garage or something, auto park something. So anything, we don't want to clash and all that. Even though there is nothing wrong, if you understand democracy, you can demonstrate even in face of the president, as long as you are not throwing missiles and you are not bearing weapons and all that kind of thing. But to avoid all that, that was around 2 p.m. on Wednesday. Around 4 p.m., a DCP, is my friend, Mr. Mohammed, came to my office, but outside was about 25 armed policemen. Later they became 50. Later they became 100 and all that. And the gentleman was trying to persuade me to have a meeting with the commissioner of police. That was a trap actually to lure me. And I said, no, bring the commissioner of police to see me. All of us are friends. What is the problem? As we are talking, he was pleading with me. I was pleading with him too. He was pleading that, look, don't do your protest. We said we want to do the protest. We have nothing to do with it. He said, no, it will scare people. I said, what people will be scared? Then they brought their letter of inviting, now charging me, alleging that conducting myself in breach of peace and all that are allowed. And I should report at the police station to the commissioner by 7 p.m. They brought the letter around 6:30 or 6 o'clock. It's not going to happen. And that's what brought the clash. While we were at it, the KBC, the Governor of Lagos, actually called me. I was pleading with me and all that kind of a thing. Eventually, the policemen left. And then they issued their threat, and they lied. They said, one, that we had issued a statement that we are going to carry the protest to the face of the president. It's a big lie, and we are going to take Edgar Imohimi Edgar, Commissioner of Police, for telling a lie. We are going to take him up, and he said that they've discovered that I was being used by disgruntled politicians. That's another lie. We'll take him up in a court of law. And they wanted to test our resolve, and they said all sorts of things, that they will arrest. They just said that anybody who goes on here to protest, NBA Kaja members will be arrested and all that. Well, we left it at that. That day came, we had our protest. In fact, the funny thing is that when the policemen see us, they were using style to disappear from the scene.
Which was on Thursday.
On Thursday, we did the protest, and we did it in 3 places. Unlike the first time when we protested, we did it at Agege, we did it at Ojuelegba, we did it at Yaba, and we had no police escort. There was no violence, there was no hijack, there was nothing. The police were just using style to melt away from the scene. So what's the problem?
Okay, let me ask you now, if you as legal practitioners and you have informed the police prior to the president's visit that you will be staging a protest, and suddenly they came up to let you know that the president will be visiting, and at the end of the day, they are also threatening to arrest you as legal practitioners, do you really think that we're practicing democracy in this country?
That is the problem. The land use charge itself is an indication of a lack of understanding of democracy. But when the president was coming, and the governor and the commissioner of police thought the best way to receive the governor is to, first of all, declare a public holiday, and then when you declare a public holiday like that, you are shutting down activities of government. That's what you are doing, and you are losing revenue. Then the second thing was that to mount roadblocks, because you are receiving just one person. Incidentally, it was Mr. President, a former military officer, who appeared to understand democracy better than them, who ordered that roadblocks be dismantled. When we say we want to protest, and the commissioner of police and his friend, the governor, thought the best way to secure the president is not to allow us to protest, they don't even understand democracy at all. Maybe, and these are people that will claim that they are highly trained and exposed. We know, read and exposed. You have the EU meetings, you have the G8 meetings, world leaders will be at 8, 9, 10 of them.
Exactly.
And then there will be protesters there. You shout what you want to shout, you carry your placard, you go home. Nothing more. They don't understand democracy. This struggle that we are involved in is a struggle about democracy and the rule of law. Some people are still brutish and trying to be bullies, like Edgar Imohimi, the commissioner of police. Can you imagine what he said? He said that this is what he said. He said, if they, that is we, if you go out on a protest, we shall be dealt with severely, including arrest and prosecution. He said including, he's threatening violence on, we'll take him up on that. That fellow is not worthy of his position. Commissioner of police was saying that anybody who merely protests, that including arrest What will he charge you? So that means he has given license to his people for them to beat us, to injure us, to kill us. That fellow will be taken up. We are writing to the UN over this. This is a modern world. Somebody will not occupy a place and still behaving like 1970 policeman. How could somebody say that including arrest and prosecution? Okay, what is the arrest now? That some people have gone to the streets carrying placards, dancing, saying that we no go agree, we no go agree. That's all. And you are arresting and prosecuting them. They don't understand democracy. They want to intimidate us. They want to bully Lagosians into submission, to accepting what their political overlords are dictated to them. We will not accept that.
But let me tell you, Mr. Chairman, sir, are you surprised that this is really happening? Because from the past, it has always been the strategy being used to get citizens to do sometimes the wish of government. So are you shocked or surprised that the police can be or can give you or issue or an arrest threats? Because I've always also looked at the fact that they said the police is your friend, basically. Now, you said, while you were talking, you said you are all friends. How be it now that most likely he has gotten an order that your protest should not go ahead or should not be carried out?
Yes, let me respond to that.
Okay.
Our understanding of this situation is that the police is still not genuinely
independent,
the friend of the people. That is one.
Okay.
And two, they are self-made slaves of power.
Powers that be.
They are self-made slaves of power that be. They may wear a veneer or a facade of being polished, of having finesse, of being trained in the best academies in the world, but they are still primitive people. Because you are calling Lagos Center of Excellence, so you say it's a mega city, you have the largest judiciary and all that, and so the police is supposed to be the smartest, but you could see they are very head. Somebody had interacted with about 3 weeks and we go everywhere to praise him, but when push to shove, the Yoruba people say Ida, Nyakpere Eleru. It is a slave that will prove himself a slave no matter how well dressed you put him. You know, how could somebody say that? Why were they panicking? President is coming. Incidentally, there's no outstanding security issue in Lagos that will say, oh, we should throw a heavy blanket.
And even call a public holiday.
A public holiday. It's not done again anywhere in the world. Everybody knows why the president actually came to Lagos. He came to honor Bola Tinubu, nothing more to his colloquium. This other one of opening bus stop or bus garage or going to one to do deep sea something, at the end of the day, it was the vice president who went there.
Yeah, exactly.
Who went there, and then the Baba did his bus stop commission, garage in motor park. He did the motor park and glorified motor park and left and went for where he had come to, really to honor his political partner and collaborator and all, which is okay. It's within his right and there's no problem. Now they now thought, you know, this is what they call eye service. This is what they call, you want to impress the powers that you don't understand democracy at all. This issue is about lack of knowledge of democracy.
Okay, now quickly, you know, a whole lot of people have been advocating for state policing, right? State police here and there. Now, what we still have is still the police controlled by federal. And if this can happen to you based on federal police, then do you now support state policing as the way out of our security challenges?
Well, it's really unfortunate, really. And, you know, you are trying to take a gamble. You want to say you want to move forward. You want to say, well, all wisdom should not, or all discretion should not be placed at the door of the federal government. There's some, the states too are not that terrible. But when you see gentlemen like Akil Bambode and his commissioner of police, incidentally I learned that they were classmates or schoolmates and all those kind of things, behaving like this. As later now, they will declare someone like me now a terrorist too. You know these people, you look at them and you wonder, I mean, these are people who are supposed to be exposed. People voted for Akim Bambode. I think the gentleman had forgotten about that. And the commissioner of police This is a person who said he believed in community policing. You cannot be a professor of community policing without knowing that you must not lose the respect, the trust, the confidence of your community host, and that's what he has just done.
Do we really practice what we preach in Nigeria?
I don't know. Some of us do, some don't, but most people,
the leaders,
they don't.
The people at the
majority
of power.
of the people in the corridors of powers, unfortunately, they don't. They only pay lip service. When you go to the offices and you see their smiles and their what they call pretensions, you may be taking it. But now, when this thing happen like this, and what we are doing, we are not even.
It's in the interest of the masses.
No, what I'm even trying to say is that what we are doing is categorized as only as pressure politics, and your hackles have risen like this. I'm not a competitor against Akim Umambode. I'm not a member of any political party. I'm only leading an opposition to an oppressive and unreasonable government policy that we cannot fold our hands, we cannot close our eyes, we shut our eyes and close our mouths, and as citizens, particularly as legal practitioners, we must live for the advancement of our people and give guidance to them. We must have the courage of our conscience and push for the right thing, extend the frontiers of democracy, and they are reacting like this. Right. I'm afraid that state police, with this kind of fellows, is very suspect, very suspect.
Suspect, okay. All right, as a member of the 4th Estate of the RAM, you have said that what you're demanding from the Lagos State government is a reversal. Based on the threat and all of that is happening to you now, are you still standing with the reversal?
Bang, bang, okay. Okay, bang, bang. I stand robustified.
Okay.
Nigeria Bar Association Ikeja branch stand resolutely, immassively on this point. Not only that we want a reversal, it is achieved. Akim Umambode has no choice. I'm saying it very, very, very comfortably that law now use charge and the charade they are doing at the House of Assembly. Let me tell you, it cannot stand. Those honorable members, can they go to their constituents and face them? At any rate, it's not their bill. It's an executive bill of the government of Mr. Ambode. Those people are just acting like a rubber stamp. Look, when people have rejected you, God cannot accept you. People have rejected that law in Lagos State. It cannot work. And it's not only lawyers. They will say people like us are noisy.
There are other activists who protested.
Not only other activists.
And it's not just the
other sectors. The only people that are comfortable with it are those politicians and political jobbers. But I understand.
Don't you know it's because they know that you are legal practitioners. That's
yes.
why they are afraid. Now you are saying that this law cannot stand.
It will not stand.
With what that has played out, or with what that have played out so far, planning to rope you and all of that, don't you think they can come on you and then arrest you, and before we know it, keep you in custody and nobody to fight for such a game?
Listen, please. Every era will produce its own demons and produce its own heroes. And that's why you right people say, that's where Gbanigbaniwa. Our fathers that have gone before us, and I'm talking of people like Fela, I'm talking of people like Taisholari, I'm talking of people like Gani, Fawemi, and I should like to talk of someone that most people don't know, G.O.K. Ajayi, Advocate of Nigeria. These people operated during the era of the military jackboots. It was much tougher than this. We were just growing up and watching and learning. If our fathers had done that, this Gani that went to defend Kensarowiwa under Abacha, and soldiers said we will not get to the tribunal, and he just opened his jacket, shoot me. It's happened. We are not scared at all. People, if you fall, other people will rise and rise. There is nowhere darkness had overcome light. It's never happened. It can't happen. What they will not take away from us is the courage of our conviction. And that is the message. And we are training our children, people coming behind us. This stupid African idea of obedience is perfect. Whether it's obedience to tyranny, obedience. No. Obey only what is right. I'm not so conversant with the Quran, but I'm conversant with the Bible. You have rows and rows of prophets who stood against injustice.
Okay, finally, sir, you have said that you are going to sue the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, or say the police command itself for the
labeling us,
for the label and what have you.
Yes.
And they have also said for protesting, for any legal practitioner that protests, that they are also going to what? They're going to sue you or
no,
something.
They didn't say they will sue. They will say they will arrest. They will say there will be dire consequences, including arrest and prosecution.
Arrest and prosecution. So
we've gone to do the protest. Let them, when we are doing it.
So after the protest, there was anything? Nothing comes thereafter.
My door is next door to them. The Lagos State Police Command and the Nigerian Embassy Secretariat is a walking distance, just about 150 meters. Let them come and pick me and charge me to court. I dare them. Nigerian Embassy Ikeja dares them to do that. Let me tell you, those people are just bullies. Bullies are cowards. Bullies are just empty barrels. And you can only intimidate, you know, they are like the devil. The devil just wants to scare you. But if you stand comfortably in your God spiritually, nothing happens to you at the spiritual realm. And at the physical realm, when you have bullies doing good, they tested us and they found out that we are men. We are men. We are men. And the younger ones are even stronger than us.
Survival of the fittest.
Yes.
All right, a final word from you to Lagos resident, because the fight that you're fighting is not just your fight, it's the fight for the masses. The
final word is this: one, understand and appreciate democracy. That the price you pay for democracy is eternal vigilance. Don't leave politics to the politician. Two, don't be intimidated. Ask for your right, fight for your right. Then third, don't pay that land use charge yet. That land use charge is obnoxious, is unconstitutional, is illegal, is demonic, is satanic, is calculated to ruin our lives. It's liquidation. Don't go and put your neck in the noose by yourself. Resist them. It's unconscionable. It's unconscionable.
What if the Lagos State government begins to arrest people?
We've told our people we have 3,000 lawyers who will defend our people
free of charge.
We've said this is a marathon. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not destroyed in a day. People who came together to put this kind of wicked, satanic laws on people will not easily accept. You know, they are like Pharaoh. They will not eat the humble pie, but one magba. They will accept because we voted for them. Yeah, we pounded this and look at funny people. They are even saying that is it Moise Banira? They said that they are the one sponsoring us. When we did Lawyers for Change, I'm pounding the streets
for them.
I'm the leader of Lawyers for Change. Lawyers for Change 2015. We went all over the southwest. We risked our life, particularly
for
in Ekiti and on those states. And then we survived and everything. It's only now, and we've never begged them for appointment. I've never met somebody one-to-one. I don't even know. I don't want to know him. I want to know him when he's a Democrat. As for today, he's not doing well as a Democrat. Let me say last word. The gains of democracy is not building road. The gains of democracy is to promote the empowerment of the sovereignty of the power of the people.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Well, I've been talking to the chairman NBA Ikeja branch on the threats issued to them by the Lagos State Police Command and their position on the Lagos land use charge. And you've heard him, he has said so much, and this is a clarion call on Lagos residents. He has said people should, for now, not pay the land use charge, because I know I've even gotten the letter for me to pay mine. But with what he has said now, I am going to hold on to see how this struggle is going to end. But of course, I'm also positive because I want to believe that the Lagos State government or the governor himself has a listening ear, and he would listen to the advocate of the people who have voted him in. We will take a short break now, and Super Eye continues. Stay with us. Well, so much from the NBA chairman. So he has said we should hold on the land use charge, not to pay yet. I'm not going to pay like I told you. So it is going to be a wrap on this week's edition of Super Eye. Remember to join us same time next week when we bring another interesting issue to discuss on the program. I am Adenike Ajiboye. Bye for now.